Hello.
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Davide, I just responded to the Google Classroom. You submitted your work and I said, I haven't seen you in my class.
Yes, that's right. I'm sorry about that. It really happened in such a way that the first lesson that you had, I was basically in Turkey giving out documents for my girlfriend taking her Schengen visa. And
Yeah,
that's
but
right.
Davide, this is the third session. And I mean, I discussed with everyone that, you are only allowed to have 1.5 absences without explanation. I mean, you know exactly that you are not going to make it in some of the classes. I mean, you should have sent me an email telling me all this instead of me being surprised that you are submitting your assignment without attending any of my class. You know what I mean? So
You're
let's
absolutely right. I'm sorry about it. I will try to catch up as much as possible. And if you require any assignment from me as extra work, I'm ready for that.
Yeah, the problem with extra work, if I assign an extra work for you, it's also an extra work for me. You know what I mean? So let's see how we can deal with that. It's the same case with you, Giacomo. This is the first time that I'm seeing
Yeah,
you.
sorry, Liz. I know that, but I was away for the last 2 weeks for working, and it was very challenging for me attending your classes. So the same for me as Davide. I will operate the extra work and recover all the material lesson.
Okay, let's see. It's too early in the morning to think about additional work and what else I can do for you for the meantime. So let's see what I can do. I cannot promise you anything, but let's see what I can do, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Can you give me 1 minute? Okay. Okay, so are we waiting? We're waiting for we're waiting for Sergio and we're waiting for Mirko. Do you have any idea if they will be joining the class? If we should wait for them or whatever? No?
Oh, Liz.
We don't know.
Okay. Okay, let's wait for 2 more minutes and then we start. Is that all right with everyone? Because if Giacomo and Davide will not be here, I will only have Luigi, Lucas, Tommy, and some. Okay. Sambaya, you still cannot join using your camera?
Yes, Dr. Just
Okay. Andrea is here. Okay, I think we can start. Okay. So before we start, Luigi, okay. Mirko is here. Giacomo and Davide, have you watched any of the recordings of the previous classes?
Not the recordings. I watched the 2 videos that you handed out for the assignment, though.
Same for me. Same for me.
Okay, so yeah, anyway, I haven't seen the recordings of the class uploaded, so I will ask Luca to upload it as soon as possible in the Google Classroom so you can review all the lessons of how many, because this is our third session if I am not mistaken. So as this is our third session, you have 2 sessions to catch up, which means 6 hours of lecture. Okay, Giacomo and Davide, clear?
Yeah, all clear. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I will tell you, when it comes to my class, I know you have seen me teach. I don't come to class not prepared and we're just telling stories of everything. I prepared for my class and I am expecting the same from you. I really like it that when I opened the Google Classroom this morning, some of you have submitted their PowerPoint slides already. Very good. I really like that because at least you are on top of your game, I also would like to reiterate that this classroom, is a safe space. We can talk about your ideas, we can talk about your philosophies, we can talk about things that you believe in. free from judgment from anyone. Okay, so I am here to guide you on how to do your research better. If there are moments that I correct you, telling you that make your research a little more focused, or your idea is too much, it's too big for you, meaning you can do it but probably not now because of time constraints, please understand that I am coming from a place of good. I want to help you out. If I correct you, the purpose of that is to help you out, and not to not to belittle you in front of your classmates, or not to put you, you know what I mean, not to make you feel bad in front of everyone.
Sure.
My classroom is a safe space. We can talk about anything, and if I criticize you, then it's also actually a good thing for you. Okay, so we have a new entrance. Pia, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning.
Yes. What happened? This is the third session.
Yeah, no, but I was so sick, but at least I have my homeworks done, so I'm sorry about that.
Okay, so 2 sessions of catch up. Okay, I am going to
Yeah.
give you, I don't know yet what I am going to give you, but I am going to require you to the three of you to really look into the previous sessions. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start the conversation. Okay, you know how my class is always, before we start a new lesson, we have to understand what was the previous discussion, because this is like a ladderized learning. We cannot move forward if there are so many things that we can't, or you cannot remember from the previous session. So as a point of review for the next 7-10 minutes, what did we talk about last time? Lucas, you're one of the most active and attentive students in the class. So what did we talk about last session, and what did you learn? Not everything, of course, but the things that you remember.
What I remember best is that we did a task in which we had to suppose, like, to create our hypothesis. So meaning the task was to find a independent and then the dependent
Variables.
component of the hypothesis.
The variables.
Yeah, the variables of the hypothesis. What else did we do?
It's all right. If that's the only thing that you remember, that's okay. At least you learned something, So
Yeah.
For the sake of those who are joining the class today, just today, see, we are now in the process of creating a hypothesis to make, because that's one of the foundation, the 4 pillars of research, the hypothesis formulation. At this point, that this is our third session, I think it was Andrea that I saw that in the Google Classroom that submitted a product because he is going to do a business plan. See, we are now on the stage where your classmates already know if they are going to do a theoretical research or a business plan. And if they are going to do a business plan, they know already what is the product that they are going to, or product or services that they are going to base their business plan on. So I will ask you, Luigi, can you explain to Giacomo, Davide, and Pia, let's summarize a little bit all the lessons that the learnings that you had from the first session to the second session, as far as it's just in one aspect, so that it's not difficult for you. How do you decide on what topic of research you are going to go into?
Well, we should choose between an argument or a problem to solve in our enterprise or family company. If we choose to solve a problem, we will use the business plan model. While if we want to develop an argument, we should use the thesis methods. Then, in every of the 2 cases, we will have a plagium check, and we will use a citation.
The viva voce.
Yes, and I think that's it.
Okay, so Lucas, you are going to do a theoretical thesis, okay? Can you explain to those who just joined the class, what is a theoretical thesis?
So a theoretical thesis is a thesis that is based on, in my case, it could be, for example, a document analysis, which is, wait, how can I define it?
You're going to do a document analysis and you're going to define, and you're going to describe
what my argument is about, and wait, I can't remember the exact structure, because we had it divided into, I think, 5 parts.
7.
5 parts until the proposal.
Yes.
End of the course, and then with the total 7.
Yes.
Right?
You're going to do. You are going to submit 4 parts of the thesis before the end of this module. 4 parts, meaning you have the introduction, you have the review of related literature, you have the theoretical framework, and the methodology. And then in the end, the final thesis, because that's 4 chapters already that is already done, then you have to develop the data presentation, and then you have summary and conclusion, and then you have the recommendation. So all in all, a theoretical thesis is 7 chapters. Okay, so at least Pia, Giacomo, and Davide, it gives you an idea that if you want to do a theoretical thesis, these are the things that you have to do and to submit, so that you will have a full-blown thesis. Okay, so that's a theoretical thesis. If you go back to the PowerPoint that I posted in the Google Classroom, you will see there the complete parts of a thesis. Let me see if I can still pull it up. No, it's in another.
Yes, I already saw that, and I already choose to do the thesis, and I already have to done my homework for the PowerPoint that you give to us the last time that I were not there, and also the text with the bullet point that you gave to us.
So Pia, what is your topic?
My topic is people-powered retention. So a research study on the role of people-centric practices in keeping employees engaged and satisfied.
People-powered retention.
Yes.
And then there is a subtitle. Can you dictate to me slowly? People-powered retention.
A research study.
Okay.
On the role of people-centric practices.
Wait, a research study on the role of
people-centric.
Okay, people-centric
practices.
In
keeping employees. Engaged and satisfied.
Okay, so good topic, long title. Let me work with you on this. Okay, so people-powered retention, very catchy, very good. A research study, you cannot put these 2 words together, because a research is a study and a study is a research.
Okay, so we can choose one.
You can choose one. My suggestion is a study on.
A study on, okay.
Drop the word research. A study on the role. See, people-powered retention, and then you have people-centric practices. See, these 3 words are the same. So you are repeating it. You are repeating the meaning using different words. Okay, so make it simpler, Pia. I mean, this is the first time that I am hearing, of course, about your topic. Make it a little simpler. But I like the people-powered retention. Keep that. And then a study on the role of, I don't know, we have to simplify this, in keeping employees engaged. I mean,
Satisfied is like is in the topic, so maybe I can keep just engaged. What do you think?
Yeah, you can either keep engaged or you can keep satisfied, depending on what you think is best for you. The thing is that I will not advise you to have engaged and satisfied. Why? Because the measurement tool that you can use to measure how engaged they are or how satisfied they are actually different.
Yeah, I
See?
know that.
So choose one. Do you want to keep engaged? We keep engaged. If you want to keep satisfied, we keep satisfied. Okay?
Okay, maybe I choose engaged because it's more specific.
Yeah, because when you say engage meaning if there is a project of the company, I will join. If there is let's say, for example, there is a Christmas party, which is part of engagement, I will. But then when you say satisfied, it doesn't mean that, but because I engage in company activity, it doesn't mean that I am satisfied. Probably the only reason why I am there is I attend a conference, for example, or I attend a company outing, for example. It's not because of the company, because you're there and you're my friend. See?
Yeah.
So this engaged and satisfied, you have to use two different tools to measure them. So my suggestion to you is keep whatever it is that you like best, drop the other one.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So Davide, do you have any research topic before we start with the lesson?
Yes, I do. In my case, I thought of something slightly related to my personal company, which is about cars resale. But in particular, I wanted to focus on one of the possible threats, which are electric vehicles. So my
Okay.
topic would
Okay,
be,
Davide, you are going to do a theoretical research and not a business plan, no?
yes, I am going to do a thesis.
Theoretical research. Okay, go ahead.
The title would be The Value Proposition of Electric Vehicles in Today's Automotive Market.
The value proposition of electric vehicles
Yes,
in
in
today's
today's automotive market.
automotive market. Okay. Okay. This is good, but it is very simple. Okay, because when you say the title, the value proposition, which means it will say, what is my value proposition? Let's say, I am a professor, and I will say, I want to teach in Swiss School of Management Milan. But what is my value proposition? What makes me, what do I have that would make the value of SSM Milan higher than it used to be? So that's my value proposition because it's me. So then all I have to do is to enumerate. I have a PhD. I have 27 years of teaching in the academy. I have taught in this. I have this. I have this. Then you enumerate. Translating that into your topic, the value proposition, then you will just enumerate what are the best things about electric vehicles. See? So it is just an enumeration. You are a bachelor's student. I am not requiring you. I will never ask you to do something that is very complicated because I want you to finish. Okay? If this is really something that you wanted to do, go ahead. You have my go signal. I just want you to realize that this is a very simple thesis because it doesn't solve anything. You are just saying to everybody that, okay, so what are you can get, let's say, an electric, the description of electric car coming from Tesla. And then you have, for example, BMW and Mercedes, they have their own electric cars. Then you get all the best things from these electric vehicles, you put them together. And then that is a thesis already. So it solves a question of what does electric cars offer in the market, which makes them, which is their value proposition or their unique selling proposition. Once you enumerated it, that's the end of your thesis. So if that is what you wanted to do, go ahead.
That wasn't the only thing I wanted to do. Like the beginning of my thesis would have been, of course, enumerating the good sides of electric vehicles, but at the same time, I wanted to get in detail about what are the downsides as well, because I want to get in detail and understand if electric vehicles are actually eco-friendly, starting from the manufacturing process and until the daily usage compared to a traditional combustion engine. And
Okay.
that's because as my business is about car resales, for car pieces, of course, th this is a threat to my business, the rise of electric vehicles.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I actually wanted to understand if they are reasonable vehicles or it's just a market trend.
Okay. So then we have to rewrite the title. Okay, so
Sure.
it's not only the value proposition, because now you are telling me, I also wanted to find out, or I also wanted to share my findings about, are they really eco-friendly? Are they really good for the environment? Then it's not the value proposition. It becomes more of academic problematic than just enumeration. So you have to rethink your title, because if I am going to rephrase your title now, it would be like a critique of the value proposition. A critique of the value proposition. You are not saying that I am just going to present to you the value proposition, but I am going to critique it in a way that, you know, a critique can be positive or negative. When we say, I would like to critique a stage play, or I would like to critique a movie, for example. Critiquing a movie doesn't necessarily mean you are going to highlight all the bad things about the movie. Critiquing is really making a comment in all the aspect of the movie. The soundtrack is excellent, the dubbing is excellent, but I don't like this. So for me, you have to redo your title by saying a critique on the value proposition of electric cars. Now it becomes more an academic problematic. You understand, Davide?
Yes, yes, I understood.
Okay,
Thank you for
so
the suggestion. I will try to rephrase the title.
yeah, the thing that I'm telling you and Pia, is that these are suggestions. If you can think of a better term, or this is your research, this is not mine. So I am just telling you what are the other possibilities of looking at your topic and then looking at how you want to do your research. So if my suggestion is not really what you wanted to do, then think of something else. Okay? Giacomo, what about you?
I don't have any written statement about my thesis, but I try to figure it out, some problem that I face every day in my work. So I think my presentation, my thesis, will be on the switching about the standard gases for refrigeration market to the natural gases to decrease the pollution of CO2 and this type of things. We are very involved in this sector, and so I think I will do on it.
Okay, so you are in refrigeration and you wanted to shift to switch from electricity to natural gases.
No, from the standard gases, so like a freon that exactly.
Yeah. Okay, I understand now. So
I will make a very specific research, so you can learn, so you can understand what I really mean.
Okay. It's you have an assignment that needs to be submitted on the 22nd of November. Okay, I already posted it in the Google Classroom. Some concepts, there are some concepts there that is not clear yet, because that is our discussion for today, like the PESTEL analysis, like the SMART goals, the SWOT analysis, things like that. But after this session, I believe we don't have a class tomorrow, no, 16?
On the calendar, we don't have any class tomorrow.
Because that is allotted for writing, so that you can submit your work on the 22nd. Okay? So, Giacomo, what I want you to do now, you know, before the end of the class, I am going to ask you again, what is, it's obviously that you are going to do a theoretical thesis, no, not a business plan.
Oh, we provide components for this specific market. So I think it will be a business plan.
It will be a business plan. Okay, so before the end of this class, I will go back to you, because I want you to give me a concrete idea of what you wanted to do with your business plan, just give me a more solid idea. This is what I wanted to do, and this is the problem that I wanted to solve. Because, for example, for the rest of the class, they are trying to solve, I want to work on the marketing because I know that my family's business is, the marketing strategy is a little old because they are not very familiar. The person who's in charge of the marketing is not very familiar with the technology that is being offered right now or being used right now in marketing. So that's the area that I wanted to concentrate on because I wanted to help my family business in that aspect. So in your business plan, try to think about it. Later on, I would like you to tell me or tell us what specific area of your business do you want to solve using your business plan.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So now we can move forward. Let me share my screen. Okay, there you go. So today is November 15, and this is our third session. This is the third session out of 8 sessions that I have with you. And then, of course, as we mentioned earlier, next session, we don't have a class to give way for the writing stage. Okay, so we talk about research design. You can have qualitative or quantitative or mixed method. Davide, this concerns you because you and Pia also and Lucas, you're going to do a theoretical research. So there's different types of research. You have research design, you have qualitative, quantitative, and mixed method. Okay, so I will not explain this in detail. I have already covered this in the previous classes. But what I would like to reiterate is that as bachelor's degree students, I will not advise you to have the mixed method because it's very complicated for you. It's too much work. So you either would concentrate on qualitative or quantitative. Lucas, sorry, you have to help me co-teach this class this morning. For Pia and Davide, what's the difference between qualitative and quantitative research?
I can't remember exactly what their topic was about. Like, I remember that in my case, it was a qualitative research because I need to check in the. It's about our research that is. I go into deep of the quality and not about many things. So there is no quantity, but it's something specific which needs to be discovered. I don't know if I got it right because this is the explanation that I understood why I have to do a qualitative rather than a quantitative.
Okay, a quantitative research, from the word quantity, it has something to do with statistics.
Yeah.
For example, you wanted to do let's say, how many people are using LinkedIn versus Facebook, for example. So you have a count. See? So that's the very basic definition of what a quantitative research is. You wanted to know what is, in relation to the topic, the users of LinkedIn and Facebook, for example. So how many? Second is, what time of the day there are more traffic in LinkedIn and more traffic in Facebook. So when you see when you are counting, that is quantity. You are measuring the quantity. When you are doing qualitative research, qualitative means you are looking at the text and you are interpreting it not necessarily by the number, by the content of the text. How do you measure? How do you analyze the content of a text? You use a coding methodology. A coding means, for example, if I ask a question and the answer is positive, the coding for that is a Q1, for example. So all answers of my respondents, of the people that I interview, that are positive is coded as Q1. Those that said no or negative, it's Q2. For those who they don't know, or I don't understand, or they don't know what is their position, that's Q3. So The text, actually, you put a code on it, and that makes that's how you analyze the result of a qualitative data collection. So qualitative is about the value of the text. Quantitative is about the pattern of the number. Okay, qualitative and quantitative. So in your case, Pia, you are going to measure employee engagement or employee satisfaction. So you have to think if your approach is qualitative or if your approach is quantitative. How do you measure engagement? Do you measure it by number? For example, there is a tool in research called Likert scale. The Likert scale is from 1 to 10, from 1 to 5. So what would be, you think, what is your research? Is it going to be qualitative or is it going to be quantitative?
I'm not sure. I mean, I will think about to do a qualitative just because I would like to concentrate more on the text, on the study that you can find, like behind of the topic. But at the same time, I think that it's so important that I have to put in the thesis some numbers, I mean, like percentages, just for better understanding.
Percentages of what?
For example, percentages of some employees of some companies in a year, I think, that retire their job, for example.
Okay. Are you planning to have to gather your data from several companies, or are you planning to have just one company as a case study?
Probably more company, I think. But I'm not sure, because if I have to put one company, it's more simple. Because if I have to put like more of one company, probably I will do a mixed method that you told to us that is not good.
No, it's not for you.
Yeah, so maybe I think that it's better to concentrate my thesis in one company.
Okay, so I can help you better once you submit your initial submission on the 22nd, because I have to read what you wanted to do. And then for the sake of Giacomo, Davide, and Pia, I am only teaching this class for 8 sessions. After this, you have to look for your research directors. Okay? So whatever my suggestion would be now, it might probably change based on your research director, because your research director would be the one closely working with you. So probably your research director knows you more than me. And then your research director will say, okay, Davide, let's not go this way because this is overly simple for you. You can do better than this. So let's do this. So my suggestion for you is to make you look at research the way a student of bachelor's earning a bachelor's degree will do a thesis or a business plan. Then whatever the suggestion and the advice of your research director is, follow that, because this person or this professor who will be assigned to you will definitely be the one telling you how to better approach your research. Okay, so you have the research design. When you are asked this question, what is your research design, for example, you should automatically say, you should know it by heart, if it's qualitative or quantitative research. Okay, and then there is a thing in research also called research approach, or sometimes they call it research philosophy, which is inductive and the deductive approach to research. Okay, so moving forward, what is the difference between deductive and inductive approach? This is very similar to dependent and independent variables, So inductive and deductive approach as a research approach or a research philosophy. So the inductive approach is actually the process of drawing conclusion by analyzing the specific to the general. These are the key terms in describing what is inductive research. Process of drawing conclusion by analyzing the specific to the general. It uses direct observation about a sample, and then from the sample, you can actually apply your observation from the sample, and you can generalize it because the inductive approach, it's a mindset, you know. The inductive approach is that whatever the sample population is showing, it is a representation of the general population, okay, from specific to general. How do we put that into, you know, to understand it better? I have an example here. So you are all Italian, so I choose an example that is very Italian. Ruben is Italian and he speaks with his hands. You know how you speak with this? So that is a specific observation. It's specific because it is one person, Ruben. Okay, and then you have to recognize the pattern. Is there a pattern? Is it repetitive? So the second statement is that all Italians that I met speaks with their hands. I am not saying that I met all the Italians, okay? But so far, all the Italians that I met speak with their hands. So there is a pattern recognition, which means whatever Ruben is doing, a larger number in the population are actually doing it. So there is a pattern. My conclusion is that therefore, all Italians speaks with their hands, which is the generalization. This is an inductive approach to research. What are the strengths of this kind of approach? It is frequently used in policy-making setting to create targeted intervention for at-risk population. So if you're doing a research, for example, for health risk, for example, in the area of health management, so you look at the sample, and whatever the risk factor of the sample is the risk factor of the entire population. The strength also of inductive reasoning is that it enables researchers to model big phenomena that are impossible to directly measure, because there are, for example, in the case of COVID, so with millions of people exposed to COVID, exposed meaning they had COVID either once or twice, there is an alarming, it's like a residue, like an alarming, it's a continuous sickness that those who are exposed to COVID once or twice, you know, the severe cases, they have a recurring memory loss. They have a long-term memory loss, They have a long-term memory loss. So to be able for a researcher to understand this phenomenon, they don't need to interview all those who have long-term memory loss. Because if it's like 2 million, are you going to interview 2 million? Of course, you cannot do that. So what you do is you get a sample population. You go from a specific observation and then you generalize. What is the limitation of inductive approach? It has a tendency of stereotyping, and if the data set is too small to represent the whole. Okay, so for those who are going to do, I'm thinking about your case, Pia, for example. So you are going to do an interview for sure of employees who are, I don't know, who are engaged in their work or who are disengaged in their work. I cannot figure it out exactly. But my question to you is, how many employees are you targeting to interview? See, you don't have to answer now because, you know, these are I'm just throwing in the question. So first is how many employees are you going to interview? Second is what are the qualifiers? Meaning, what are the parameters? When you say employee, does it include those who just entered the company? Or does it include
No, I mean, in more specific case, the people that are working in a company, but for example, after the COVID-19, maybe they consider it to quit their job for some reasons, maybe because they doesn't feel well in the company for bad organization.
Yeah, so yeah, but then again, you have to make your parameter more specific. So which means when you say employee, those who are working in the company for no less than 2 years.
Okay.
Correct? Okay, for no less than 2 years, because you said after COVID. So COVID is, let's say, 2021. So that's the parameter. So how would you, okay, so employees, and then you say, these employees, where they came from? One company or two companies? We don't know yet. Okay, let's say for example, it will come from
I
one
mean, maybe one company is simple than two, but if I put there two companies, I also can do like
comparative analysis.
yes.
No, Pia,
No.
don't make your work very complicated. For me, one company is good enough because
Okay.
just like what I'm telling always in the class, it's the quality over quantity. You are going to have a comparative analysis, and then, for example, I will be in your panel for the Viva Voce. I will look at your research. The title is very compelling. It's very good because it's a comparative analysis. And then when I go inside, I will say, that's it. You compare this? No. So the title doesn't justify what is inside. So for me, it's better to see a simple title, very clear. And then when you go inside, I would be like, this is a deep dive on the topic. This is very good. So the simpler it is, but the deeper is the discussion, the better it is for you. I mean, it's like the packaging of a product. The packaging is so good, you buy it, and then when you open the box, there is nothing impressive there. So I don't want your panelists to have that kind of sensation. It's better to have very simple, but there is, when you open, wow, there is a wow factor in there. Okay?
So do you think it's better to just put one company there?
I would definitely encourage you to do that. The only thing is that my question is that company, do you belong to that company, or you don't belong to that company?
It depends, because if I choose to put a company that is like a big one, probably I have to search data on internet, and I cannot like.
Yeah, but the company that you're going to the employees that you're going to interview, they belong to one company. So this company, are you working for that company, or you are not working for that company?
No, I'm not working for that.
Okay, so why did I ask that question? And probably this is also true to those who are doing business plan and are going to work within, are going to develop their business plan using their own company as a case study. In research, there is ethics. Technically, if we are going to be very straight about it, you should refrain, or you should refrain. It's not that you are not allowed, but you should refrain from doing a research based in an organization that you are 100% completely involved in. Why? Because there is the bias of the handling of the data. For example, I am the owner of the Swiss School of Management Barcelona, and then Pia, you are my daughter. Of course, you have access to everything inside the Swiss School of Management. And because everybody, let's say you're going to interview the employees of the Swiss School of Management Barcelona, but because they know that you are the daughter of the owner, there are certain information that will be given to you freely, or probably they will try to impress you because they know your position in the company. So there is an ethical dilemma about that. So we'll discuss that. We'll address that later on. So the inductive approach, just to summarize, it is a process of drawing conclusion by analyzing specific to general. Now, let's have a little example. Let's have a little exercise. So this is the example that I have given you. I want you to create this same thing using this concept. Choose one, okay? And then create an inductive approach with this as an example. And then I'll give you 3 minutes for this, and then I'll call you one by one. Just choose one. You don't have to do the three. Just to practice how it is to do the inductive approach. Clear? Okay, 3 minutes, please.
Sorry, Liz, we have to formulate an example.
Yes. For example, this one, because this first statement is actually the specific observation. So you have to choose one of these and then create the second and the third one.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Who would like to volunteer?
I can go.
Lucas, you wrote something in the.
Yeah.
Let's start with Sambaye. Sambaye, can you talk? Sambaye, can you talk?
Yes, miss.
Yes, go ahead.
So I chose the first sentence.
Okay.
That Sarah is from Asia and she eats with her hands. So the pattern recognition of this sentence would be all of the Asians that I have met are used to eating with their hands,
Mhm.
and the generalization should be therefore all Asians are accustomed to eating with their hands.
Okay, perfect. Very simple. Thank you. Who would like to go next?
Me,
Who is me?
Giacomo.
Giacomo, go ahead.
Yep. I formulate Max is German and he loves beers. All Germans loves beer. Therefore, all the Germans drink beer or love
Oh.
beer.
Okay, okay. That's a good example. But next time, Giacomo, I said we have to work on the following. There is no German.
Okay. Okay. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. You were able to do it perfectly. Okay. Next, Luigi.
Okay, I choose the second one.
Mhm.
So company Fox is manufacturing company in Canada and they have extremely ethical work practice. All the Canada company have extremely ethical work practice. Therefore, yes,
Because your reasoning is they are all
yeah,
and all.
is generalization.
Yeah. So you know what is this is a little tricky, but I will solve it for you later on. Okay, because probably the others have also done this, and I will discuss this later on. Okay, let's leave it at that for now. Mirko, would you like to go next? I want to hear your voice, Mirko. Mirko? Okay. Sergio. Sergio is not here. Pia. Pia, I realize you're the only girl in this class.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Okay, so sorry. Wrong. Okay, which one did you do?
Okay, I choose the second one, but probably I made a mistake because I rewrite the second one in a generation way. Generalization, sorry, way. So I put the companies operating in Canada, such as Company Fox, demonstrate a commitment to ethical works practices.
So that is, this one is the specific observation. You have to write the pattern recognition and the generalization. So what did you write? The generalization?
Yeah, the generalization.
Okay. Davide, what did you do?
I tried to make the second one as well by making all Canadian manufacturing companies are extremely ethical in work practices, and that's a pattern recognition since the first one was a specific observation. And as generalization, I don't know if it is right, but I made therefore all Canadians are extremely ethical in work practices.
Okay, so actually you are all correct in saying all Canadian companies are extremely ethical work, have extremely ethical work practices. That's the generalization. The pattern becomes problematic. Why? Because you fail to look at the operative words. What are the words that are crucial in the first statement, in the specific observation? See, manufacturing company. So it's specific to manufacturing company. How many companies are there? See? So think about it. We'll discuss about it. I will talk about it later. Tommy, what did you do?
So I did the third one, so I get tired if I don't drink coffee. As an observation, fatigue sets in when I skip my coffee.
Okay, so what is the pattern recognition? You say
Pattern recognition is consistently, I notice a correlation between not drinking the coffee and feeling tired.
Okay, and therefore your generalization is that?
Based on my experience, it seems that coffee plays a significant role in preventing my fatigue.
Okay, so I don't get tired if I drink coffee.
I don't get tired, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Lucas, what did you do?
I did the same as Sambaye.
Sarah, okay. Exactly the same.
Yeah, the first one.
Okay, okay, perfect. So going back to the second one, did I miss anyone? Andrea, what did you do?
Sorry?
What did you do here?
I'm sorry, you can see me on the
No.
camera. I don't understand, but
But we can hear you anyway.
I don't understand. I'm sorry, it's broken the camera. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's all right. You can we can hear you, so you can participate in the discussion.
Okay. I don't know. Sorry. Can you repeat the question?
I ask you to create the inductive approach to the following examples, just like how your other classmates are doing it.
Okay.
So can you look at the work on the following, this statement, and then can you formulate an inductive approach with this as an example?
Okay. For me, the first is specific observation.
Can Tommy, can you help me out? Can you explain in Italian to Andrea what we are trying to do here? Because I believe he doesn't get the instruction.
Allora, Andrea, praticamente vedi che ci sono gli esempi sopra. Abbiamo la specific observation, pattern e generalization, ok? L'osservazione specifica, ok, se sono stanco non bevo il caffè, ok? Ed è quello
Sì.
l'esempio. Ci sei? Dammi un resoconto, se no.
Sì, ma non ci ho ben capito.
Allora, come osservazione posso dire sono stanco se se salto il mio caffè, ok? Come osservazione. Sono stanco se non prendo il caffè, quindi osservo che sono stanco se salto il mio caffè, capito?
Sì.
Cos'è che riconosco? Ok, se tutte le volte che non bevo il caffè riconosco che sono stanco, capito?
Sì.
E quindi scrivi tutte le volte che bevo un caffè riconosco che sono stanco. Generalization, nella mia esperienza personale, bevo il caffè e sono stanco, semplicemente. Hai capito?
Sì. Cioè, in teoria no, però vabbè, andate avanti.
Come
tanto
no?
Non ho capito, no, non capisco non ci capisco niente. È difficile.
Davide, spiegalo tu.
Un ragionamento così.
Lo giuro che te l'ho spiegato in modo proprio...
Diglielo da Ruben Is Italian, che magari capisce meglio.
Sì, è più semplice perché l'altro è un ragionamento al contrario. Allora, facciamo proprio uno degli esempi che ha dato la prof, perché tanto è identico a quello di Ruben. Sara è asiatica e mangia con le mani. No, questa è un'osservazione specifica, perché
Sì.
è asiatica e mangia con le mani, perché così è come mangiano alcuni asiatici, anzi la maggior parte. Quindi, te come pattern recognition, quindi per riconoscere una correlazione, potresti dire che tutti gli asiatici che conosci mangiano con le mani. Ci sei fino a qua?
Sì.
Bene. E quindi l'ultima cosa che te puoi fare è la generalizzazione, lo stereotipo, definiscilo come vuoi te. Tutti gli asiatici mangiano con le mani. Cioè, Se tutti quelli che conosci mangiano con le mani, potresti dire come generalizzazione che tutti gli asiatici mangiano con le mani. Ci sei?
Sì.
Okay. Andrea, the best example is the simplest one. Work on number 1 because that's the easiest.
Yes. Is,
Okay. So can you formulate the pattern recognition and the generalization?
Ridi le stesse cose che ti ho appena detto, Davide.
Sì. All. I don't know. I don't understand. Sorry. I can't. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. Just for you, huh? I will explain very briefly because we cannot be staying in this slide for a very long time. Okay. So, Andrea, there's one way of thinking of how our brain work in research is doing an inductive research. The inductive research is specific to the general. So as you can see here, we are talking about Ruben is an Italian and he speaks with his hands. So this is a specific observation because speaking with the hand is associated to Ruben, which is one person. So it's very specific. Okay, and then you go to the pattern recognition. You say, all Italians that I met speaks with their hands. Okay, so there is a pattern. You can say that Ruben is not the only one who speaks with his hands because all the Italians that I know speaks with their hands. So there is a pattern recognition. So it is not only Ruben, it's all the Italians that I met. Okay, so in the end, the generalization, you can say all Italians speaks with their hands. So specific pattern recognition generalization. The best example is the simplest example. Sarah is from Asia and she eats with her hands. Look at this. Shoot. I think it was in the chat. I don't know how to open it. Because Sambaye was actually very good and Lucas in saying that Sarah is from Asia and she eats with her hands. All the Asians that I met, see, this is just following this. All the Asians that I met eats with their hands. Therefore, all Asians, or it's customary in the word of Lucas, it's customary or Sambaye, so it's customary for Asians to eat with their hands. Okay, so Andrea, I am going to post this. PowerPoint in the Google Classroom. Please review this together with the recording. Okay, so moving forward. So I told you there is two types. Now you have inductive, and then of course you have the deductive. The deductive approach is the complete opposite. It comes from the general to the specific. So that's the most basic one. So the general is that there is an existing theory that needs to be tested. Okay, so it's general to specific. It is best for quantitative research. Example, existing theory. Red cars run faster than green cars. The deductive approach, John is driving a red car. Harry is driving a green car. Therefore, John's car is faster than Harry's. See? So there is an existing theory that red cars run faster than green cars. Another existing theory, customer buys more jeans if the store smells nice. Abercrombie is a store that sells jeans and smells nice. Therefore, they sold more jeans. That's why they sold more jeans. Okay, so this is the difference between deductive and inductive approach. In the inductive, it's from specific to general. In deductive, general to specific. How is this applicable in your research? Calling the attention of those who are going to do theoretical research. This is for you. Your approach, for example, in your case, Lucas, are you going to do, because you're going to do document analysis, are you going to go for the deductive or the inductive approach? Are you going to go from specific to general or general to specific? So in my case, and I will suggest that it's going to be the deductive approach, the deductive approach, where you go from general to specific, because you're going to look at existing written documents, because it's a document analysis. So you go from written documents from general, and though you go specific, going literally to the very the topic that you really wanted to investigate. So for this, the strength of this is that deductive approach is that there is a possibility to explain the relationship with different variables.
Excuse me, Dr. Liz, I have just a little bit of problem with my connection. Probably I have again this difficult, okay?
Okay. So
Thank you.
the strength is you don't need to observe and or analyze big data sets. The limitation is that if the existing theory is weak, the data will be unreliable. For example, why is there a red dot here? Because this is a weak premise. You cannot justify this. There is no logic to this, which means the theory is weak. What does it mean? You know exactly that the color of the car doesn't have anything to do with the fastness of the car. I mean, the engine determines how fast it will go, not the color. So if the premise is weak, your data is unreliable. Okay, moving forward. I have to hurry up because I need to cover a lot of lessons today so that you are prepared for your submission on the 22nd. So let's do a little exercise about deductive approach. So the existing theory is that red cars run faster than green cars. The deductive approach, this is the example. So I'll give you just 2 minutes to prepare for this. Choose one and then follow the deductive approach. Social media sets unrealistic self-image. Traveling makes you more tolerant of cultural differences. It is better to invest in quality than quantity. So this is the deductive approach from general to specific. Okay, 2 minutes, and then I'll call you one by one. Mirko, I want you to go first. Mirko, are you ready? Sergio, are you here?
Yes, of course, I'm here.
Okay, so can you be the first one to provide an example for the deductive approach using this example that I have just presented to you? Mirko, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm talking to Sergio now. You will be the next one to give an example. Sergio, do you want to go? You want to give it a try?
Yes, but it's not. I'm not have clear the object about this work because the three questions. One have how the question the social media are realistic or not. The second is traveling makes, and I can understand the feeling.
Okay, Sambaye.
Yes.
Okay, so I am reading what you wrote in the chat. I posted a picture of myself inside a Ferrari, therefore everyone thinks I own it. Okay, so
I'll
that's
go with the first one.
yeah. So social media sets a realistic self-image. Okay, how did you approach it, Davide?
I approached the same one with a different perspective. Like Anna has more followers than Paul. Anna thinks she's better than Paul.
Okay, see, okay, good. What did you do, Lucas?
still finishing my sentence, and I was using social media sets unrealistic self-image. Since you can post whatever you want without proof underneath the post, everyone can be seen as unrealistic. Can be, yeah, I don't know.
Okay, make your sentence shorter and simpler. I'll go back to you.
Okay.
Okay, Giacomo, what did you do?
I choose the first also. Social media set unrealistic self-image general, and Julia just post pictures when she is in vacation, so all think that is always in vacation.
Is always on vacation. Very good, very clear. Social media sets unrealistic image. Julia's on vacation, so everybody thinks that probably she's rich because she's always on vacation, or she's not working because she's not studying because she's always on vacation. So it's an unrealistic self-image. Okay, Luigi, did you do anything?
Yeah, I use social media.
Okay.
John, that use social media more than Mary, he had a more realistic self-image.
Who has more realistic self-image?
John.
Because he posted so many things on social media?
Yeah, because he used it more.
Okay, so it's the other way around. Because we are saying the social media sets unrealistic. But what you are saying is that John uses social media more, so he has more realistic self-image. Did I get that right?
I use the opposite. I say that John that use it more the social media had a more unrealistic self-image.
Okay, more unrealistic self-image. Okay, I got it right. Okay, so moving forward. Okay. Sergio and Mirko, have you heard the examples set by your classmates?
Probably yes. But my example, I give in social media also. In this case, my reference is one activities. The VR Consulting have a post one picture about their project in this month.
Okay, so how is it related? So social media sets unrealistic image, Sergio.
Può ripetere?
How is it related? What you just said. How is it related to social media sets unrealistic self-image?
Good question. I need more time and I give you one response.
Mirko, can you hear me?
I
Okay. Can you give an example? Can you answer this?
example.
No?
No.
Okay.
Wait.
Okay, moving forward. Okay, so for the sake of everyone, let's move forward. So we have inductive and deductive reasoning. Okay, very simple. A specific observation, I'm talking about inductive, pattern recognition, general conclusion. So you have the deductive is existing theory, you formulate a hypothesis, you collect the data, you analyze the data, and then you accept the existing theory, or you don't, or you reject the existing theory because it might not be true. Well, probably, for example, you work, a lot of you work on what was the statement? Social media sets unrealistic self-image. Well, that is a theory, an existing theory. But probably after collecting the data, probably that is not true. Probably social media sets more realistic self-image. So not because it is a theory, we should accept it as it is. You have to do a research to prove if the theory or the hypothesis is right or wrong. Okay, so moving forward. Let's talk about now your research, now that you know what is your research approach and what is your research design. Lucas, I will answer this question for you. Your research design is qualitative and your research approach is deductive. See? Why Why was I able to identify that? Because you are very clear from the very beginning what you wanted to do. So it's also very clear for me to tell you exactly that this is the right way on how to do your research. If you will not give me a concrete information about what you wanted to do with your research, I'm sorry, I am very good at what I do, but I will not be able to help you. Why? Because the formula comes from you. I am only helping you putting all these things together so that it will develop into a form. If you will not be able to give me concrete information about your research, no matter how great I am as a lecturer for research, I will not be able to help you. Okay, so this is, you should be able to know by now when you are asked, what is your research design? This goes to Davide, to Pia, and to Lucas, because you are doing a theoretical research. You say, what is your research design? It has to be an automatic thing, quantitative. What is the research approach or research philosophy? Deductive or inductive? It's your choice, it's your decision. So these are what I mean by research design and the research approach. Okay, so now, a lot of members of this class I know are waiting for, what about the business plan? Okay, so here, the next few slides, we are going to talk about the business plan. And this is also very beneficial for those who are doing the theoretical research. Why? Because, of course, this is an additional information for you. Have you heard of the business model canvas? In any of your previous, you are in your third year. So you have done introduction to finance, introduction to business. So I am just asking you if you have heard of the business model canvas, so I know if I need to allot more time on this or not. So Tommy, have you heard of the business model canvas?
Yes, I did.
Okay, did you use it before?
I used it actually, yeah, one time.
Okay, one time. Okay. Sambaye, you are going to do a business plan, if I'm not, yes, a business plan, if I'm not mistaken, correct? Sambaye?
I said no.
You are going to do a theoretical research?
Yes.
Okay. Federico, are you going to do a business plan?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so those who are going to do business plan, you have Tommy, Andrea, Federico. I think Sergio is going to do a business plan. I don't know what is the plan of Mirko. Mirko, are you going to do a business plan or a theoretical research?
I'm sorry, but my presentation is theoretical research or business plan.
Andrea,
I don't know.
Yeah, Andrea, you're talking to me. You're asking me a question.
Sorry.
Your question for me?
Yes, my presentation of airflow.
Okay. That question, it should be the other way around, because I am not the one who's going to do the research, the thesis. That is my question to you. Are you going to do a thesis or are you going to do a business plan? What do you want to do?
A thesis.
A thesis, not a business plan.
Okay.
No. It's a question, Andrea. I'm asking you a question.
Sta chiedendo a te, Friso.
No, lo so, ma io non riesco, non capisco cosa fare nella tesi.
Friso, hai intenzione di fare una tesi o un business plan?
Una è una ricerca, quindi vai a fare una ricerca di 20-30 pagine dove...
Sì, no, quello lì, grazie, l'avevo capito.
Okay.
Cioè, sono ancora un po' indeciso, ma penso, vabbè. Tesi. For me, I will make a tesi for the final exam.
Okay, for the final submission. Okay, good. So see that question of should I do a thesis or should I do a business plan? I cannot answer that question for you. It's like telling me what do I want to eat.
Dr. We kind of have the same problem.
Yeah, so if you want to do a thesis, that's good. If you want to do a business plan, that's good. Okay, but I will tell you what I think. When you submit your presentation, the PowerPoint presentation online, I thought you are going to do a business plan. But if you want to do a thesis, it's probably your company needs a thesis rather than a business plan. Probably the business plan is already done. So you just want to do a more in-depth research of how do I distribute the, I forgot the name of your jacket, but you know, how will I distribute it? Who will be my target market? Things like that. Okay. Sergio, you want to say something?
No, but I have a response about the three questions at the first. Just that.
Okay. Okay.
So for business plan or thesis,
Okay.
I think I want to do the business model canvas also. So I need to define the topic, just because I have two clear idea. At the first is Innovo Green restaurant and Lime Green.
Mhm.
At the second, I think one service in economic world. In this case, it's a service of consulants. I'm so sorry, I not have a name in mind. The consulants, just
Okay.
just that, and
Okay.
I need to define this topic. Okay. And for the three questions, if the social can to transform the image in realistic or not, sometimes yes, sometimes not. Depends what you want the activities. The second question says it make you more capable of understanding. And for the last, it's a personal response. For me, it's better to invest in equality, but also in this case you need to understand how is better solution in quality or in quantity. Depends of your object, your ideas, depends. It's a
Yeah.
really open questions.
Okay, this is my general observation and my advice to everyone. When you do research, you cannot say it depends. When you research is a specific science. You cannot say it depends on it depends. No, that's not how it goes. Okay, focusing on the business canvas, I'm calling the attention of those who wanted to do a business plan. The business canvas is a must. It's a must part of your business plan. Do you remember in the first session, I gave you the parts of a business plan. You have environment scan, you have return of investment, you have all these things. So the business canvas is actually, that's why I call it the essential tool in creating your business plan. As you can see, there are 9 concepts here. So you have key partners, key activities, key resources, value proposition, customer relationship, channels, customer segments, cost structure, and revenue streams. Okay, so for those who have seen or have used even just for once the business canvas, do you have any, can you explain any, just one, not too much, just one of the concepts that we have 9 concepts here. Explain one. What does it mean?
Like actually the value proposition that will is about what value and what you're gonna what benefit you're gonna
Wait, who's talking? Who's talking? Sorry.
Tommy.
Tommy, okay, sorry. Okay, Tommy, go ahead.
What value you put inside the market and what benefit are you gonna make inside your company. And what are like the essential point that another business or another customers can benefit from you, like increase from you.
Okay.
Like the channels is where you wanna set your business. Like
Tommy, what do you mean by we're going to set your business? What does it mean?
Like you go probably just online and you set your channel online, or
Mhm.
you want to open the store, or you want to do it in Italy, you want to do it. It's like your channel of
Distribution or
distribution, probably.
yeah, or channel to be, what is your channel so that your services and your products will be known to the public, for example.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
the cost structure, the revenue stream, basically.
Mhm. Okay. Anyone else who has any idea what these concepts are? Sergio, you said you are going to do a business by Sergio here. How come I cannot see? There you go. Sergio, you know, you said you are
Yeah,
going
I
to.
have idea what are these concepts, because in this 3 years separately and altogether we have a study, and also we have a possibility for make one probably business plan, and in the period we have analyzed every single of these keys.
Okay, so are you telling me that there was a lesson before where this was discussed by another professor or another subject, another course?
Revenue streams.
No, the business canvas. No, not the revenue stream. This entire model.
Okay, repeat the question, sorry.
Yeah, was there a time before that this business model canvas was discussed to you or was taught to you in another class?
If I understand well, we have a make one business plan in 2 groups. At the first group, we can make another type of business plan. At the second
We
group,
didn't
another
see
type.
the business model Canva. I saw it in Rome when I was in Rome. So
Not only in Rome, but at the first start, we have a study in
yeah, but we
Brescia.
didn't see the business model Canva.
You haven't seen this.
Sergio,
Okay.
Sergio non l'ha chiesto se abbiamo fatto un business plan, ha chiesto se abbiamo già visto tutti questi punti qua dentro
Sì.
di Canva, che non li abbiamo visti tutti.
Abbiamo visti in modo diverso.
Non li abbiamo visti.
So never. It was you never seen it. Okay, so at least now I know how to proceed. So we have 9 concepts inside the business canvas. Why is this very important if you want to do your business plan? Okay, let's discuss briefly all the concepts inside. Okay, so in the business model canvas, the first concept there is customer segment. So who is your client? Who is your customer? So Federico, you are doing a business plan. Answer this question for me. Who are your clients?
My clients, referring to my business, probably I think that I have a large number of type of clients, family, workers, employees.
Federico, remind me again. What is your business?
I'm referring water drinking company.
Okay, the water. Okay, the water filter, no?
Yeah.
Okay, so as the water filter company, when you talk about clients, you actually don't. Of course, you talk about people. You talk about people. You know, the people who are going to buy your products or service. But in research, you have to be very specific about identifying the clients who you think are going to patronize or to buy a product or service from you. Why? Because your marketing campaign depends on how well you know your clients. Do you speak their language? Do you reach them in a channel where they are? Because probably you are posting on Instagram, but your clients are in LinkedIn. So you are if you don't know your client, you don't have a business. So when you identify your clients, there's 2 factors that you have to understand. Number 1 is called the demographics. The second one is the psychographics. Okay, so in your case of water filter Federico, so what are the demographics? Let's make it as an example. The demographics are,
Maybe
first, their gender.
can.
Federico, their gender.
Okay.
Mostly, in gender, mostly, what are they? Are they men or women? Or are they both?
Yeah, both.
Both. Okay, perfect. Of course, they are both. So in terms of age, you have to have, this is part of the demographics. You have to have an age range. Between what age to what age, ideally speaking?
Yeah, between maybe 25 and 60.
Okay, 25 or 60. You know what? I will not contest that. I will not question it. Why? You know your business more than me. You are the expert. I am just helping you put it together. Okay, so
Okay.
part of the demographics you have in terms of gender, both. In terms of age, they are between 25 to 26. In terms of location, where are they mostly located? Let's say that you are doing a business plan only in Italy, because I know that you are distributing also in other parts of the world. But for the purposes of discussion, let's say that the location is in Italy. So where are they located?
Maybe in the north of Italy.
North
No.
of Italy.
Yeah.
Okay, north of Italy. Okay, so again, for the purposes of discussion, let's limit the demographics in just three: age, gender, age distribution, and location. So you said both men and women, 25 to 60, located in the north of Italy. Okay, so that's your demographics. Now let's go to the psychographics. The psychographic, from the word itself, it has something to do with the way they think. Okay, so question. Are your clients, are they educated, and what level?
How can I know what is the level of education of my clients?
Well, you can say from high school and up.
Yeah, I try to invite, yeah, maybe from the high school to
Yeah, high school and up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so in terms of psychographics, you know, the money we earn affects the way we purchase. The more money we earn, the more capable of the more capable we are in buying things. So part of the psychographic is, what is the income range of your client? Those who are earning, because in the US, when you say earnings, they say in a year, like 120 to 160,000 dollars a year. But in Europe, we do it by month. So in terms of income range, those who are able to buy water filter, what are their income range? They start from what to what every month? Just say a number. This is just an exercise.
Yeah. Maybe between 50,000 and 100,000.
Okay, so that's
month.
Yeah, per month.
Yeah. I think it's too big.
Yeah, I mean, you are selling water filter in homes. In homes.
Okay, maybe a more easier, maybe 1,000, between 1,000 and 100,000, maybe.
Okay, no, let's say 2,000 to let's say 3,500 per month.
Yeah, it's easier. Yeah.
Okay, your first idea of 50,000 to 100,000.
No, it's really big. Maybe in a year.
In a year, but even if it's in a year, you cannot have a range that is 100% more than the lesser one. You say 50,000 to 100,000, that's too big. What you can do is like 80,000 to 100,000. Make it closer. You cannot do 50,000 because when you say 100,000, again, it's double of the 50,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, perfect. So when you talk about customer segments, it's ideal to define your customer segment in terms of the demographics and the psychographics, because once we know that their psychographic, there are high school graduates and above, they earn 2,000 to 5,000 per month, they are middle income households. That's what we mean. And then the demographics is that they are both men and women. They are between 25 to 60 years old, and they are from the north of Italy. Now, let's say we go to the value proposition. Now that you know your client, you know exactly what they want from you. And you know exactly what you are going to offer. Okay, so let us take the business plan of Luigi. You're going to do a business plan, correct?
Yes.
Yes, and what is your business again?
Meccanotextile industry of meccanotextile.
Come again? Sorry, say that again.
Mechanical point textile.
Mechanical for textile. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say that you know already who your customer segment is. Okay. Now, my question to you is, what makes you better than your competition? What new things are you offering to your client? That is your value proposition, or in marketing term, we call it USP, unique selling proposition. So in terms of, you know, with the terminologies, sometimes we use different terminologies, but we mean only one thing. So for the purposes of being consistent with the business model Canva, so my question to you, Luigi, is that your business is mechanical thing for textile. So what is
Yes.
your value proposition?
We have more than one value. The
Okay.
one is the quality,
Okay.
because it's Italian-made fabrics.
Okay.
Then we have the longevity,
Longevity. Okay.
and as third we have non mi viene in I don't know
We can always ask the help of your classmates. Say it's in Italian, probably someone can translate it in English.
l'intercambiabilità, cioè il fatto che sia
Interchangeability.
non è proprio in quel senso, è tipo
Tipo che puoi usarlo in più modi?
La flessibilità free.
sì, che cioè, tu cambiando i pezzi sostanzialmente non devi andare a cambiare tutto per cambiare modello e per cambiare prodotto.
Flexibility.
He's saying that his product is created in a way that the client can change the pieces of that instead of change the whole product, you know. What I mean?
Okay. Okay. So there's how do you say that? Spare parts are easily available. So
Yeah, we provide kits that change the fabrics of the machine without change all the machine.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Luigi, my question to you is, what are you selling? Are you selling the machine or are you selling the textile?
Machine.
The machine. Okay, so since you are selling the machine, you cannot say that the quality is Italian-made fabric, because the fabric is not what you are selling.
Okay.
You can say the quality of the machine itself, because it is Italian quality or following Italian and European standard. So those are the terminologies to make it better. So the machine is Italian made, following strictly European standard. Okay?
Okay.
Those are better. So as your value proposition. The second one is longevity, which means because it is Italian made, following European standard, you can assure your clients that the machine will last. Do you have how do you say that in English?
ISO.
Warranty. Like if I buy the machine, there is a warranty of 2 years, for example. Do you have that?
Yeah.
Okay, so longevity, and then you have to put that in your value proposition. We have, I don't know, 3 years, 2 years of warranty. You have to put that.
Okay.
And then this is actually the last point you made is actually very good.
Yeah, I think we guarantee 10 years, I think.
10 years. Okay, very good.
I don't know.
Yeah, so that you have to put that in the value proposition, because you don't know if other machine manufacturers promise 10 years of warranty. Okay, and then the last thing that you actually said about, you have a spare parts to change if one part of the machine breaks down. You have parts to replace it is available. So you replace the parts instead of the entire machine.
Yeah.
Okay, so This is your, Luigi, very clear. I am very impressed with the value proposition. That is excellent. You have to write it in your business plan.
Okay.
Okay?
Now I'm looking for the word if I found it in my notes.
Which one?
The last one, the like intercambiability, but
Yeah.
the word.
I will send you an email. I will write this to you so that you can put it in your business plan.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you have, it's easy to understand who are your customer segment, it is, and what is your value proposition. Andrea, in your business, what is your value proposition? Andrea, are you still with us?
The value proposition is create a textile for inflate jacket and propose a jacket for different condition, because you inflate your jacket is more isolation.
Okay. Actually, Andrea, when I saw your PowerPoint slide this morning before I joined the Google Classroom, and then I saw the picture of the jacket, it's really impressive. It's really impressive because the problem with the weather in Europe, and of course, you can always tie it up, Andrea, a little tip for you. You can always tie it up with climate change. Why? Because right now, 10 years ago, it's very easy for us to determine, now it's fall, it's spring, it's this. But because of climate change, we don't actually know when is the fall, when is the winter, when is the spring, because you can have, in 1 week time, you can experience all these weather conditions because of climate change. So that is actually one of the value proposition that you might include in your business plan. So, yeah, but you don't want to do a business plan. You want to do a theoretical thesis.
No, yes, is a theoretical thesis because a business plan exists for this product, and I analyze this product and my goal is implement a good marketing for sell this product.
Okay. So your theoretical thesis would dwell on how to market the product.
Yes.
How to market the product. Okay, so let's leave it at this for the meantime, and then I will wait for the submission on the 22nd about what you really wanted to do, and then we'll go from there. Is that okay with you? Andrea?
Sorry. 20, I don't know last, sorry. No.
Yeah.
Ne parlerete quando il 22 poi consegni il lavoro finito.
Ah, ok.
Okay.
Thank
Okay,
you.
let's go to Mirko. Can you participate? I have to hear you participate in the class. Are you here, Mirko? Okay. Sergio, what is the value proposition of your business plan? I know that it's green restaurant. So specifically, what is your value proposition? Sergio, can you hear me? Okay. Okay, so we have customer segment, value proposition. Next, you have channels, you have revenue stream, and you have customer relationship. Okay, just like what Tommy said earlier, the channels are actually how will you communicate your value proposition? Exactly your channel, your value proposition. How will you communicate your value proposition? So of course, with your age, you will always say, we will always use social media. But in the case of Luigi, where your product is a machine, you cannot communicate that, you cannot sell that, and you cannot share that information through social media. So, Luigi, in your case, what channel are you going to use to promote your product?
Okay. We're word to word.
Okay.
Uh,
In English, we call that mouth to mouth.
mouth to mouth.
Mhm.
And trade fair.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Trade fair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yes, I mean, you can probably do a little, how do you say it? In LinkedIn, for example, you have a little account there, and you promote what you have. But then again, social media is not for you. So trade fair is actually the best way for you to connect to your target market. Okay, so that's one. Okay, so what about Federico, your water filter? How are we going to communicate your value proposition? How are we going to
Make my marketing tools. I think that the best way for maybe an advertising is to suggest to the client that this filter is made in Italy, because knowing the market, maybe the 90% of these products are from different country outside Italy, and I would like to explain to my final client that our filter are 100% made in Italy. And
but where are you going to say that? You know, you
yeah,
crafted
maybe
the
with
message.
advertising,
Where?
and on a TV channel or on a radio station.
Okay, so very specific, because you have very specific target market north of Italy. So whatever the channel that is used,
The channel.
yes, the channels that is used in north of Italy, that's what you are supposed to target. Okay, so moving forward about the revenue stream. Of course, you are doing business because you want to make money. In water filter, Federico, of course, your main line of business is selling water filter. So that's the main line. Are there other revenue streams aside from selling the water filter? Are there other source of money?
Yeah. Maybe with also the dispenser of the water. I don't know if you know what is the dispenser, that
Yes.
machine. Okay.
Yes.
I think that is the product where a big part of the money of our revenue come from, because it's usually to see this dispenser in a fabric, in a station, in office. You can see maybe everywhere this type of machine usually.
Okay. Yeah. So what we are saying here is that you have to identify your main line of business. Where do you get your money? But then again, it's not good if you will only get money from one source of business.
No. Yeah, I know, because the dispenser is another business apart to the water filter. It's
Okay.
totally different.
Yeah, Federico, the reason why I'm asking you about it is because in the business plan, once you present your cash flow, your research director should be able to tell you, okay, this is the money that's coming in from the sales of water filter. But where else can we get income? So you will say water dispenser sales targeted for the next quarter of 2024, for example. So I have to sit there, because why is it important for a business plan to have other source of revenue? So that it can supplement whatever you have right now. It can add to the line of survey, the line of the product that you are selling right now. Clear?
Yep.
Okay. For the machines of Luigi, okay, of course you sell the machine, but then again, you have spare parts. The parts, and even for example, if your client is within Europe, you can, if something breaks and they don't know how to repair it, probably it can be part of your offer to your client as part of customer relationship, and as another form of revenue stream also, is that if you're in Italy and the client is in France, so you will say, okay, you don't know how to fix, I will go there, just cover my cost, and then you pay me 200 euro for the repair, I'll go there. So those are other revenue streams. Okay, so what about customer relationship? This is very easy. The customer relationship is, of course, how you are going to interact with your clients. For example, Mirko, are you online? Sergio, are you online?
Sì, sono online, ma adesso non posso rispondere.
Okay, let's start with Mirko. Mirko, remember your topic is about, let me recall, interior design.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Did
Okay.
you thought about it? Now what are we going to do with the interior design? Is it going to be a theoretical thesis or is it going to be a business plan? Give me an answer.
A business plan.
A business plan. Okay, good. Okay, so with your interior design, what is your value proposition? What makes you different from the others? What is the new thing that you will offer?
Hard question.
What is the new thing that you will offer? You said you're going to do a business about interior design. Okay, let's accept that. What is the new thing that you will offer that is not being offered by the other interior design professionals, for example? Pia, can you translate my question to Mirko? Because probably Mirko will better understand it in Italian.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, my question is, what is the value proposition of his business?
Mirko ti ha chiesto praticamente qual è la value proposition del tuo business. Cioè, value proposition, come si traduce, raga?
Qual è il valore proposto della tua attività, in termini sia economici che non?
Cosa offri di diverso? Cosa vorresti offrire di diverso alla tua clientela? Qual è il tuo valore unico? Perché sei unico nel mercato?
No, non è diverso, Luigi. Solo qual è il tuo valore proposto. Cosa proponi è un'altra cosa.
Sì, ma il valore proposto, cioè quello che ha detto Gigi.
Cosa vuoi proporre diverso? No.
Sì, cioè qual è il valore che tu proponi che hai nel tuo business? Cioè cos'è che... perché le persone dovrebbero venire? Cosa?
Ciò che ti differenzia dai tuoi concorrenti.
Cos'hai di unico?
Did you understand, Mirko?
Understand. My value proposition is I think the simplicity of design.
Okay. Simplicity of design. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Mirko, one is good. Let's not push it too much. Okay, so we have simplicity of design. Okay. So you think this value proposition is not being offered by other designers, interior designers?
Depend to the your design. So for example, it's more
Okay, Mirko, look at the slides. Okay, this is the business model canvas for your business plan. Okay.
Okay.
I will post this PowerPoint. I will upload it in the Google Classroom. So this you have to study very well because you're going to do a business plan. You're going to fill this up. Okay. Okay. So what about you, Sergio? What is your
I can't respond now, sorry.
value proposition? did I lose Sergio, or did he say he cannot respond now?
Yeah, he can't.
Okay. Okay, so for the sake of others, we have to move forward. Okay, so we have customer relationship from your revenue stream. What kind of relationship are you going to develop with your client? For example, Luigi, because of the peculiarity of your product, because you have a mechanical machine, you know, these clients will buy from you, especially if you have a warranty of 10 years. So these clients will buy from you again, probably after 15 years, when the machine totally broke down, or probably after 20 years. So you have to make sure that you keep a very good relationship with your clients, so that after, I don't know, 10, 20 years, when they need to replace their machine, they will come back to you. Okay, and that is a very long relationship to take. Okay, but that's the nature of your business. That's the nature of your business. So the customer relationship is actually how you interact with your customers. I have one student who's planning to do an Airbnb, and I said, for customer relationship, I said, what is your offer to have a positive customer relationship with your client? And he said, I will give them discount. Listen, when you give a discount, or when you give a freebie, you know, buy one, take one, that amount that you give for free should come from somewhere else. So you hide it. For example, you're a cosmetics company. You are, the lipstick is, the second lipstick is 50% off. That 50% off that you take out from one lipstick, it should be hidden somewhere else, like in the eyeshadow, in the lip balm, in the mascara. Why? Because you cannot give free services, you cannot give freebies just because you want to give it for free. It should come from somewhere else. Okay, so when you have Airbnb, what are the part of the customer relationship that you have to develop that other Airbnb is not doing? First, for example, I don't know how much is fresh flowers in Italy, but when you have a guest in your Airbnb, a fresh flower will always make a difference. And a little welcome note, for example. I mean, Davide, for example, welcome to my Airbnb. I have a nice bouquet of cheap flowers, but at least there is fresh. And then you have a welcome note. Dear Davide, thank you very much for choosing Liz Airbnb in Brescia. It's good to have you here. I hope you enjoy your stay. And here are the key points of interest that you might like to visit. So these little things actually is part of your customer relationship. Some companies actually have, when I was working for a pharmaceutical company in the Philippines, and I am writing for the press release of Pfizer, I know exactly the birth date of the editors of newspaper. And I send them a little chocolate, a little something on their birthday, so that they know that they are not forgotten. So that's part of customer relationship. Next, we have key activities and key resources. In key activities, it only talks about what are the main line of business that you are going to do to sell your product. So in terms of Federico, your water filter, of course, your main line of activity is to sell water filter and to sell water dispenser. So those are your key activities. The key resources that you have are who and what are your key resources. In terms of Luigi, for example, your mechanical machine, you have to be very friendly with your key resources or stakeholders. Who are the suppliers of the different parts of your machine? Because for sure, your machine is big, but it doesn't come, or correct me if I'm wrong, does it come from one factory alone? Or you get this part from this company, you get the other part from other company? Or do you order it in one company? How do you do it?
We get it and mostly we assemble it in our company.
Okay, but the suppliers, the small parts are coming from different parts, correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so those are your key resources. So you have to identify who are your key resources, because they are the suppliers of the product that you are selling. Okay, so in case of, for example, I am selling I am selling cosmetics online. I buy it in Alibaba bulk, and then I sell it to I sell it to Amazon. So who and what are my key resources? Of course, Alibaba, because I get my product there, and then I sell it on Amazon. So those are my key resources in terms of the business model canvas. And then, of course, you have your key partners and your cost structure. Your key partners are those who are helping you in all the aspect of your operation. Key partners also includes your accountant, someone who's going to do the financial report every quarter. You have no idea how tax, for example, or how business works in Europe. So one important key factor that you have is definitely your accountant. The cost structure is how much are you spending a month in terms of, do you have a rent? Do you have people to pay as an employee? So that is your cost structure. Okay, so again, these are the 9 concepts inside the business model canvas. Okay, so the question is, remember, the question is, do we have to put this in our business plan? Of course you have, because this is an essential tool to be able for you to determine if your business is going to work or it's not going to work. Okay, so aside from this, there are other things that is helpful for you also. We have the SWOT analysis. Have you heard of this? Again, the reason why I'm asking is because you are on your 3rd year. And again, you have courses like Introduction to Business, Introduction to Economics, Business Finance. These are actually the most basic thing that is being taught for business students. Giacomo, have you heard of this before?
Yes, of course.
Okay, perfect. Pia, have you heard of this before? The SWOT analysis.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So how do you apply this in your business? For those who are going to do, Tommy, how will you apply this in your business plan?
Actually, I will check on for the strengths points, which one are make my business strengths. I don't know how to say. I have to do a SWOT analysis right now on my business.
Yeah, I mean, how are you going to apply this? For example, you started good, you started strong. I will look at the strength.
I will look up what the strong points of my business are, which differentiate my business and are make my business stronger and more safe, I can say. Probably. After that, I will see the weakness, which are the less like the low point of my business, which are like the holes inside my business. That I have to check it and see if can cause me some problems. The opportunity, of course, which are the points where my business can grow more. And also the threats, to see the competitors analysis and to watch in 360 degrees of my business.
Okay, perfect.
I didn't do it right now because it's like a little bit difficult for the business.
It's all right, because the purpose is not to apply it now, but my purpose of asking that question is, to test if you're familiar with the concept of the SWOT analysis. So obviously you know how to use it. Okay, so another one is the SMART goals, so it has to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. Okay, so again, you have discussed this before, right? You know about this. The SMART goals. Giacomo, you are nodding your head. Is that a yes?
Yes, I already seen that topic.
Okay, Luigi, have you seen this before?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So, specifically that when you do a business plan, you look at how make your goal specific and narrow, so it is more effective in planning. Okay, this is also applicable to those who are doing theoretical research. So I told you, you always have to be focused and focused, narrower the better. Measurable. Make sure that you will be able to measure what you are trying to measure. In your case, Pia, I told you, it's either engagement or satisfaction. So at least you know how to measure. Make sure the measure of achievability or achievable in your thesis right now is that, will I be able to finish it on time? So which is relevant to time-based. Do not think of a topic that is so big that it will take you forever to finish. And then, of course, is it relevant? Is it timely? Does it have a purpose? Okay, so that is the SMART goal. The next one is, are you familiar with Porter's 5 forces? Have you heard of this before? No? Okay, so the 5 forces, Porter's 5 forces talks about this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are the concepts that you should apply also in your business plan. So of course, when you enter a market, there is already existing competition. There are already businesses who are offering the same business or the same product as you. Okay, so you have to understand this. Where am I going to place myself? For example, I am a cosmetic company, green cosmetic company, like sustainable and all green and everything. So when you study your existing competition, you don't put yourself at the level of Body Shop because they are very far away. You have to look at the existing competition, the same level as you. Entry point with this number of employees, with this amount of capital. So if you are here and you are already existing, for those who are doing scale up, you know exactly that there is always the threat of new entrants in the market. So you are existing. For example, I am an international school here in Barcelona, Swiss brand, and yet there are other Swiss brand coming from Switzerland who are coming to Barcelona, and we are on the same level. So that is a competition. You also have the bargaining power of supplier and the bargaining power of buyers. What does it mean? For those who are getting their products or some parts of their products from other suppliers, especially after the COVID, and you have the Russian-Ukrainian war, and then you have what's going on in Gaza, a lot of your suppliers will say, before this spare parts for your machine is only 20 euro. But because it's difficult to produce, the raw material is difficult to find, from 20 euros, it becomes 27 euros. See? So that's the bargaining power of your supplier. Now going to the other side, what's the bargaining power of buyers? Buyers actually have less money to spend to buy a product. So instead, your cost is getting high, but the bargaining power of your buyers is also present. They will say, before you sell this product to me at 10 euro, but now it's become 12. I really cannot afford it. I will look for something else that is not Italian made. I'm all right if it's not Italian made, for example. But you are selling it to me at 12. I can get it from somewhere at 9, even if they are not Italian made. So there is always the bargaining power of buyers. When you know that the buyers are going somewhere else, what are you going to do? Okay, how many pieces are you going to buy? Okay, so 10. So instead of 12, I'll give it to you at 10 euro. And then the other person, your buyer, will say, yeah, but 10 euro, but I'm going to get it from another supplier for 9. So then there's the bargaining power of the buyers. And then there is always a threat of substitute product or service. There is always a competition with low quality that is half your price. So how are you going to compete with that? Okay, so having said all this, and then of course you have the pestle analysis. Oh, sorry. The pestle analysis is, okay, the political, the economic, the social, technological, legal, and environmental concerns of your business. Like if you are going to do business your business is located in Brescia. So what's the current tax policy? What's the current trade policy? If, for example, in the case of Federico, the water filter, so your product is made in Italy, but you want to sell it to Canada, for example. So what's the trade policy between Brescia, Italy, and Canada, so that you will be able to export to them your product. So these are all the things that you need to understand in the operation of your business. Okay, looking back. So what's the instruction? Looking back for your business plan, the business canvas for the 22, for their submission on the 22nd, the business canvas is a must. It's a given. I should see it there. Okay? If you want to add more to the business canvas, like you want to add SWOT analysis, you want to add SMART goals, you want to add Foster's 5, and you want to add Foster's analysis, PESTEL analysis, it's your choice. Okay? If you want to have the business canvas and any of the SMART goals, PESTEL analysis, it's your choice. It can be the canvas plus the PESTEL analysis, for example, or it can be the business canvas plus the SMART goals, or it can only be the business canvas. The business canvas is all right for me as a standalone. Question?
No, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So going back, you have two choices. It's either just the business canvas, it's okay, or you can choose business canvas and, okay, claro, business canvas and PESTEL analysis, or business canvas and another how do you say it? Another tool that you can use for your business plan. So at this point, do you have any question, any clarification? Ask it now. We still have time. Question for the business plan or for the theoretical thesis?
For me, was all clear.
Okay. So
all clear.
Okay, all clear. Okay, so what, Giacomo?
I have one question. Maybe it's not so relevant. But,
yeah, go ahead.
Do you think it's like, could it happen that if I'm working with a research director, that we will come to the conclusion that the research that I will be doing, like the design, will be a mix? Can that happen? Can that not happen?
It can. It can. I mean, you know, I am not telling you not to do it, but I am discouraging you to do it. Okay? But the end decision is not mine. I can only control what is in my class. After the class is finished, I have given you your grade, and you start working with your research director, follow what your research director will tell you.
Okay.
Okay? So are you thinking of doing a mixed method, Lucas?
No, I don't know. I was thinking about the whole topic, and then I was like, okay, maybe there are, I don't know.
Yeah. What do you think? You know, this is an open discussion anyway. What do you think is the part of your research that would make it quantitative?
No, maybe I will have to make surveys or ask people, and maybe then we will use somehow statistics to state your thesis. So maybe there it's getting into a quantitative.
Well, I will say this to you, but I will deny it later. Okay? That's always my excuse. I will say it, but I will deny it later. In research, you can claim that this is a mixed method, but primarily, see, those are magic words. My research, my thesis is a mixed method my research is following a mixed method research design, but primarily qualitative. Okay, so which means it is mixed method, but it's just that I just did a survey, just one survey. So at least you are safe that you are saying, I use survey, but only for one, because...
Yeah, I was wondering just about this, because it's not, it won't be completely just one-sided. It will somehow have some numbers, some quantity. So I was just wondering about that.
Yeah, but also, Lucas, not because there is number, it becomes a mixed method.
No, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You understand? If it is just, let's say, you just count how many people you interview, and you interview 5, that doesn't make it automatically a quantitative research. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So, questions for those who are going to do business plan.
I'm sorry, I have just last question for thesis.
Sure.
Do you think that we have a minimum or maximum pages that we have to write?
No, I don't. I discussed this in the first class. You already have parts of the thesis. So if you fill out all those parts of the thesis, you will have more than what is required in terms of word count and pages. What we are very particular is that you follow the format and you fill the format.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so at this point, Giacomo, I told you, before the end of the session, you have to tell us more clearly what is your research topic.
Yep, of course. So basically, and I take some time to make a little overview of my company so you can understand more better what we do. So we provide components for a refrigeration system. And basically right now in Europe, but many years before in the US market and the Canadian market and the North Europe market, and they already facing new natural gases like CO2, R290, flammable gas. So basically, we provide the components to make circuit of these gases that they are going, for example, for supermarket, for the fridge bank, or air conditioning for airport, or air conditioning for bus mobility, type of things. So the problem right now in the market is that the new natural gases face different specification and characteristics. So the pressure is higher, the raw material is different. So all other competitors right now they providing the components studied 40 years before. So we are now developing, and we already developed for the US market and the Canadian market, but right now for the European market, different components, patented components that only like our company had.
Okay.
And also providing that components with a very high quality handling, because to compete with the Chinese market, for example, we have to develop new technology. We have to increase our productivity to making a very better quality components with the same price of, for example, a Chinese market component. So my business plans will be on try to sensibilize the European market to this new challenge that are the natural gases, and try to transfer that is not enough to change the refrigerant gas, but you have also to change the components for manage these natural gases.
Okay. With the way you describe it now, Giacomo,
Yep.
I believe the business plan is not the best way to do it, but because what you are telling us now is that you want to you want to show, or you want to educate the European market, or whoever your stakeholder is, that this is the way to go, and a business plan will not be the best solution for that.
But I think the business plan fits exactly very well, because all the point that we touched today, so the customer segments, the value proposition, and I don't know, the supply chain, this type of thing fits very well to my.
Okay, so for the business plan, for example, with Luigi, with Federico, with Andrea, with Tommy, I know exactly who will be the end recipient of the result of their research, of their business plan. In terms of Andrea, they already have an existing business. So whatever the business plan for whatever, not Andrea, Federico and Tommy, for example, whatever is the result of their business plan, I know exactly that it will be beneficial to their own company. So my question, Giacomo, to you is that when you finish your business plan, who is going to benefit? Your company also?
Yes, of course.
Your company also. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. On the 22nd, that would be your first or the initial submission of your business plan. That's the only time I will be seeing it in writing, because, you know, the moment I see it in writing, that's the only time I can comment on it. Okay, so this is the first time that you're attending the class. So I know that some concepts are fresh. It needs to be tied together. And then I'm expecting that by the submission on the 22nd. Please put that in writing.
Yeah, when I will put on the right things and all came more clear than just speak face to face.
Yes, okay. So Sergio, are you here? Can you talk now?
Yeah, I can respond.
Okay, so in summary, can you tell us again what your business plan is?
I need to define today my topic.
No, give us an idea of what you wanted to do more specifically, because I know exactly that you are working on green restaurants. Okay, so
yes, this is my first idea, and how I explained, I not have just this idea, I have another idea. I need to understand how have more possibility of have success.
Yeah, so between this idea of a green restaurant and the other idea, which one you like best?
I best seriously at the service, make a service. But I take the choice of restaurants because it's more easier for me. But I want also, or I want to create a business plan interesting about the service and another activity.
What is the service that you are talking about? So
to develop a line of commercial line, to develop a commercial line.
What is a commercial line? Can you explain?
Sincerely, it's different line because it's line of food, line of technological material or other materials. I can develop any line, and of course, need to have good investment, but it's just develop a line, sviluppare, insomma. That's it.
Oh, okay. Mirko. Are you here, Mirko? Okay. Okay. So, summing up the lesson for today, you know exactly what you wanted to do for your business plan. So, just last few points today before I finish the class. Remember that your research, you have to look at, can you see my screen? Tommy, can you see my screen? Yeah. Okay, so you have to formulate a research problem. The reason why you are doing a research is because you want to solve a problem. You want to solve a problem of how can I sell more, or how can I market better, or how can I create a business, or how can I let people know that there is this law about this topic that I am talking about. So the reason why you are engaged in research is because you want to solve a research problem. So now, what is the difference between a research problem and a regular problem? Okay, so I don't have to explain this. You know exactly what this is, right? Okay, so This is the iconic Titanic, of course. And then this is one way of looking at this scene. There is another way. See, there is the movie. This is the theory of how selfish can you be, that there are so much space here, and yet you let Jack die without sharing the door, because this is actually a door. Okay, so why am I sharing this with you? Because when you formulate a research topic, you are trying to solve a problem. So what is the difference between a general problem and a research problem? So the general problem is this: you ask, why did Jack not share the door with Rose? That's the general problem. The specific research problem is that, can two people fit into the floating door? So what is the difference between a general problem? When you look at the general problem, why did Jack not share the door with Rose? Well, because it's this. But the research problem becomes more specific. Can two people fit into the floating door? Suddenly, you are making calculations. It's not because it's this, because of that. The question is more specific. It's not about sharing, it's about how can you share the door if this is not big enough for two people. So now you are looking at this from a different perspective. That's why I like this example, because a general problem is you are looking at the things not in actual perspective. You are looking at it from one angle. Once you become a researcher, you are looking at it from a researcher's perspective, which is bigger than the traditional way of looking at a problem. So can two people fit into the floating door? Suddenly you are making calculations. Is there a space? Is there this? Is there that? Is there that? So you are looking at things from different perspective. So that's what you are now that you're starting your research. You are now an academic researcher. So what now are the traits of an academic researcher? Just to end this lesson for today. What's the traits of academic researcher? First, you have to be very factual. You have to share information that is verifiable. You can back it up with data. You cannot come to the class, or you cannot present a work that's like, well, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to do this and I wanted to do that. And then I will look at you and say, well, you don't have any background in what you are talking about. So how can you do that? You don't have personal background. You don't have professional background. So how can you do that? So characteristic of a researcher: you are very inquisitive. You are very curious. You are fascinated by one single thing alone. If you wanted to do, I'm telling you, once you start your own research, once you start your own business plan, you are going to think about it most of the time. This is what you're going to breathe, especially those who are doing theoretical research, because you have to follow the format of the Swiss School of Management format for thesis. Okay, so now you have to think not from a general perspective, but you have to think from a researcher's perspective, which is highly, highly critical. Okay, any question at this point? Clarification, violent reaction? No?
Jasper, no. Maybe we can choose also you as a research director or not.
You can. I don't know what is the policy of Brescia and Milan about it. Please ask with Luca. I will also ask him if they, it's if in their policy.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, I am very tough. I don't know if you will survive.
Okay, just for know that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm very tough. But I produce the best students. That's actually, but I am very strict with timeline.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I am very strict with, if you are up to the challenge and it is within the policy of Milan and Brescia to get me as your research director, we can talk about it. And
okay,
if you are up to the challenge, yeah, because there are so many students who come to me, and then I will look at their thesis, for example, and I will say, this is not within the line of my expertise, because there are so many topics that I can look at it from an academic perspective, but I know exactly that I will not be able to look at it. For example, if Luigi, whose business is mechanical, will come to me for a business plan, I might not be able to help because, you know, my line of expertise is very far from the mechanics or even the water filter, for example. But if the business plan is about marketing, it's about marketing communication strategies, that I can take. But if it's too specific, that, you know, it's better to have someone to handle that. Okay, so if there is no other question, it's 12:30, we never had a break, so I'll give you this time. Start writing, ladies and gentlemen. Pia, before you join the class, I always say gentlemen because there's no ladies in the class, so now I can say it. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure that your submission on the 22nd is a substantial submission, because that would determine the midterm grade. Because once I read it and I can see that, okay, it's not perfect, of course, but we can develop it. I will send a report to Luca and Lisa saying that the following students can continue with the class. If I see that after 3 sessions and nothing much has improved and you are still lost in your own thoughts of what am I going to do, and you are still not clear of what you wanted to do, I will tell Luca and to remove these students from my class, because I don't know how else I can help them. So it's very important. The determinant of your continuation with this class is your submission on the 22nd. And I have given that assignment 2 days or yesterday, 2 days or a day ago, so that you will have time. And tomorrow we don't have the class, just to accommodate that you are going to write. So please, those who are doing the theoretical thesis, please, the review of related literature, work on it. Okay, the review of related literature, work on it. No, you are still in the first part. Sorry, you are still in the first chapter 1. I asked you to write chapter 1. Right?
Sorry, it's instead for the business plan, we have to put, for the 22nd, we have to put the business model canvas or some other tools, and this is just the assignment, right?
That is just the assignment, correct. Let me double check just to be sure. Okay. Classwork. Let me show you just to be clear.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what is posted in the Google Classroom.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so you have, for those who will be doing theoretical thesis, you have submit a substantial text. Okay, so one of my students asked me, what is a substantial text? Okay, so for the background of the study, 2 to 3 paragraph. Rationale, 2 to 3 paragraph. Definition of concept, it doesn't matter, because you can have the definition of 6 to 10 words probably. The hypothesis, it needs to be very clear. Okay, we discussed that in the class. Statement of the problem, and then objective, and then the chapter synthesis. Okay, so for those who will be doing a business plan, a substantial text about the concept listed below, description of the business, introduce the management in the strategic member team. So what are your what's industry? Are you in the textile? You are in water, you are in fashion, you are in education. So that's the industry. Introduce the management and strategic team members. What do I mean by strategic team members? Who will be in the future or who are already in your team right now. So who will be working with you? So there are people in strategic member team. Description of products and of services that your company is offering, and must use any of the following: business canvas. It should be business canvas and or.
Okay.
Okay, and or, but the business canvas is a must.
Yeah, understood.
Understood? Okay, so with that, I am expecting a good submission on the 22nd. And for those who just joined the class today, I will post an assignment for you in the Google Classroom, so that I will know that you were able to catch up with the lessons that you missed.
Okay, thank you very much.
Claro? Okay.
Please, I also uploaded the homework number 1. like 10 minutes ago. That was the PowerPoint of 6 slides and I mean like a little intro of the topic. So I
Okay.
upload.
Okay. I will be looking at those submissions probably by tomorrow, because I still have, a lot of classes today, but I will give you a feedback on that.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Dr.
Yes.
I've got a question, please.
Mhm.
If our I don't know, objective is to increment the sales, but by doing that we should check our supply chain, check our inside manufacturing process and all these things, and maybe also work on marketing. So you suggest us to focus on 1 or 2 point, or to check all what we think that is not efficient, to make it work better?
Yeah, it will take you a lot of time if you will check everything. So just concentrate on one major and probably one that is closely related. So just one or two. And then, later on, if, you want to study more, then you do more. But for now, because again, I want you to finish. If we are going to cover a lot of areas, it's going to be very complicated for you. The simpler, the better, because we have a timeline to respect. Okay?
Yeah, all right.
Okay, so with that, thank you very much, and enjoy your weekend very soon.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.